Welcome. It's Eve John here. Hi, Jessica, Lisa, Tracy, Kylie, Sarah. Thank you for coming on early. It's absolutely fantastic that you guys are here for me today. Now, make sure that you grab your favorite drink, turn off your Skype, your email, and your phone, and give me your focus because we are about to go all out, guys. Make sure that you grab yourself a pen and paper because I'm going to teach you some amazing success hacks about Amazon. It doesn't matter what type of book you've written, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, or what your topic is. I will teach you what you need to give you the best chance to get your book to #1. I've been preparing for this all week, and you could probably hear that I'm really excited. This webinar could potentially change your credibility for your life. Once you are a best-selling author on Amazon, you're a best-selling author for life. Just remember that. So stay on until the end because I've got a bonus for you. What we're going to cover today is the 7 steps that will get you the best opportunity to become a #1 bestseller. This is a piece from one of my programs, and it's something that I use with all of my clients. It's a really important piece of the puzzle to becoming successful on Amazon. It's part of my 5-step signature system, Amazon Smash It. And I work with my clients. I work through 5 steps, including plan, publish, profile, promote, and productize. I'll tell you a little bit more about the program later. And this part that we're going to be working on today is a piece from Publish. And we're going to go deep on 7 areas. My best-selling clients tell me that they love getting this part done for them because it is really time intensive, and if you can get this right and you can really nail it, you will get the success that your book deserves. Amazon can be really challenging. There's 1.2 million ebooks on Amazon Kindle, and we all want to get to #1. It's hard, but it's definitely doable. When I was writing my book, Confident You, I really wanted to make sure that my book got to bestseller because I understood what having a best-selling book actually meant. It meant that I was open for more speaking opportunities. It meant that I was able to increase my prices. It meant that I was able to sell things on the back end of my book. There's no limitations on what you can do once you get to add bestseller to your email signature. It took me about 6 months to write my book, and I didn't want to risk not actually getting the credibility that my book deserved. Also, the money that I was making from the royalties from my book were actually being donated to a charity. So I really wanted to make sure that I was going to nail it. I spent over $4,000 on one particular program, and it was supposed to really help me get to the top of the list, but I really didn't want to do the free book idea or sell my book for 99 cents. I knew my book was worth more than that. The systems I saw people trying to implement always seemed to just miss the mark, and people were devastated that they put their heart and soul into their book and they were sitting at number 91. I started to pull all the best pieces, the parts that proved that they worked, and added my own research and training. I'd previously spent close to $50,000 being coached by Australia's leading marketers, copywriters, and public relations experts. And I knew that it was this information, as well as my ability to really research and niche my book, that was going to make me successful. With all of this information, I locked myself down and created a 5-step plan and launched my very first book onto Amazon, and it was #1 in under 24 hours. And now I've been doing the same things for my clients, and they've been achieving the same types of success. I've refined my 5-step systems, and I'm going to show you some of the gold from it today. Are you ready? What I'm going to do throughout the program is just share a little bit of myself with you. I'm just making sure that we're on here. Okay, yep, we're beautiful. Okay, good. I'm just going to stop screen sharing and say, hello, how you going? What we're going to be talking about today, I do want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer. The things that I'm going to be sharing with you and the books that I'm going to highlight, I've just found them on Amazon. I don't know the authors. I haven't read the books. They just are really for illustrative purposes so that you're able to really see why these things are working and why these things aren't. Okay, so let's go straight in with our first piece of the puzzle, which is really looking at why. Oh, sorry, just again, I'll cover what I'm going to teach you. The number one reasons that your books never sell a copy, 2 of the most embarrassing mistakes that first-time users make, how to make your book stand out in the crowd of 1.2 million Amazon ebooks, the golden rule when it comes to making your book more attractive to readers, and it's not actually your cover, and why now is the best time to actually launch your book. So we're going to go straight into it with the number one reason that books never sell a single copy. And it's remembering that Amazon is the 3rd largest search engine in the world. Where people are going wrong, and I don't think you're going to be surprised, is keywords. Now, Amazon describes keywords as search words that help readers find your book when they search the Kindle store. You may enter searches, keywords, or short phrases that describe your book and are relevant to its content. The best keywords are those that do not repeat words in the title, category, or description, as they are currently already being used to help readers find your books. So for many of you, when you do go to Amazon and you're looking for particular books, you're probably using it much the same as you would be with Google or YouTube. So it is really just another search engine function, and that's something that you need to keep in mind. So what we're going to do is head over to amazon.com.au, and the first book that I'm going to be showing for you now is a book that I've found, and I've already explained to you why I haven't read any of these books and that they are just illustrative, but I'm just trying to get it to come up now. Now, this particular book is called Release the Wussy to Get More. It starts with P and rhymes with wussy. So this is perhaps why I've chosen to demonstrate it. Obviously, I'm not their ideal market, okay? It is a book that is written for men about how to get more women, I guess. Now, in one of my businesses, I work very closely with a lot of tradies, and I asked them, if you were looking to become more confident with women, what would be one of the key things that you would actually look for? Now, a lot of them sort of said, you know, they'd look for confidence, or how to attract attention from girls, or, you know, getting more self-assured, or dating tips. None of them would look for the phrase, release the wussy. Okay, so where they've really gone wrong with this particular book is their particular keywords that they're using in their title and in their description aren't really going to pop. There's 3 types of keywords within Amazon. When you actually launch your book and you go through the Kindle back-end program, you actually get an opportunity to choose 7 keywords. Now, they can be either one word or they can actually be a phrase. So it's really up to you what you want to do, and that's really a really important thing to remember, is what is my audience looking for. So a lot of authors, and you're going to hear me say this quite often, a lot of authors are so relieved that their book is finished that they just throw it up there and they just wing it. Now, that is why some books will never, ever sell a single one, because they don't have the right keywords for what they're being searched for. So if you're writing a book on confidence and you perhaps don't have confidence in your title, you'd want to be having confidence as one of your keywords. But you've got the option to use long tail keywords, which is basically a sentence. So you need to really know who you're marketing to and what they're going to be looking for on Amazon. Now, you can really research this yourself, and it is quite easy to go through and do some basic research. And it's by using things like Google. It's by going through and using the Google Analytics tools, using their keyword planners. You can also do some searches yourself through Amazon and see what's actually coming up. This particular book, Release the Wussy to Get More Whatever, comes up under, in the Kindle store, Kindle ebooks, religion, spirituality, personal growth, and under family, men's personal growth and women's personal growth. Now, I certainly wouldn't be, if I was a man, I wouldn't be looking for a book for women, for how to be confident with women in a women's book. In a women's category. So again, we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but it is really important to remember that your keyword working, it is the same as working with Google. So you need to be sure what your book is, who you're trying to attract, and what sort of words that they're looking for. One of the things that you can do is if you've written a particular book for a particular genre, you can send it out and ask people, okay, what words are you looking for? If you're already in business, you can survey your clients and say, okay, what would you look up? But the best way is, well, there's two best ways. One is using a software program, or the second is doing your own in-depth research. Now, I study Amazon and I watch what they're doing and the fluctuations and watch the market, so to speak. Amazon does have a lot of algorithm changes. Most of you know about the changes that happen in Google. Well, Amazon does exactly the same thing. So just when you think you nailed it, often they change it. But when you know what to look for, it can really make a big difference to your bottom line. So your number one thing that you need to consider is your keywords, okay? So that, for most people, is the number one reason that their books never sell. So what I want you to do, grab your pen and just make a couple of notes as to what types of keywords that you think you might be, that your audience might be looking for. And sometimes it's genre specific, and I've got a gift for you at the end of the webinar as well, which will help you with that. So stay on to the end, and this will really help you with your keywords and figuring out where you want to go. But you need to know your keywords from the start. So just take a couple of seconds to just jot down some ideas now, and it'll give you an idea as to what's going to happen. Okay, done? Beautiful. So the next thing that I want to look at with you guys is the two most embarrassing mistakes that newbies make. And the two things that they have are, and you'll often see this, if the books have been there for a while, there are no customer reviews. And the other thing that they don't have is a very bad preview on the inside. When you upload your book to Amazon, once it starts selling, you're able to have reviews. But as an author, you can also request reviews as well. So I'm just going to go back now to Amazon. I've got another little example up the top here, which is another book called Improve with Women, Better Man Dynamics ebook. Okay, so let's just have a look on the inside. Sorry, actually, no, it's this one. How to Increase Your Confidence, Attract Women ebook. Okay, so having a look at it from the start here, having a look on the picture here, it's not particularly pretty as well when you can actually see the title and the cover, but we're going to chat about that. But these are the two biggest mistakes that people make. Now, you've got the option on Amazon Kindle to use this look inside function. Now, this is where a lot of people fall over, and this is a piece of gold that I'm going to give you here. When you format your book, and I always suggest that you get it done professionally, there are some things that you can use on Google Docs, but having it professionally formatted is going to be the difference between whether people buy or not. So you have a look and you click on the look inside the book, and it'll start to bring everything up for you here. And it gives you the equivalent of about the first, I think, 10 pages. It does actually vary. So we're just clicking it as though the readers would actually see it. So they've got another copy of their cover in there. They've got their table of contents. It's a little skew with. It doesn't really line up particularly well. It's a bit hard to see where the numbers are. You know, the table of contents, again, not particularly strong. So this is something that you need to keep in mind as well. So you just keep having that. Sorry, I didn't take my phone off the hook because it interferes with my internet access. So what we're really looking for here is just making sure that it keeps it nice and neat throughout as well. Then getting down here, now they've popped an acknowledgement in their first page there. And really, this is the scratch pad. I'd like to thank the print shop and James and Jennifer Buell for being so understanding. And I'm sure they probably have been really, really helpful, but this is really wasted space to put that type of thing there. People will go and have a look at the look inside feature to see what's actually going on, and they want to make sure that this is the type of book for them. Okay, so this is, again, they've got a second table of contents here. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but again, it's quite a little bit skew with. It's just not neat, and just some graphics. It's not real. Oh, okay. Hello. Sorry. Excuse me. And a little bit of the introduction. Now, when I spoke before about having a book that is actually formatted correctly, see how you've got a space here, and then you've got no space from the way down. That's something that people will actually be looking for, and it just shows professionalism as well. So you need to be aware and actually see that too. So that's one of the things. Now, if we scroll down here, you'll also see that there's no reviews. And this is something that is really, really common. And these books were done quite a while ago. And again, no reviews. And going across again, and no reviews. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm actually looking at the reviews, sorry, I'm just trying to get back so I can see you. Okay, here we go. When I'm actually looking at buying a book, I'm really wanting to make sure that I've got my reviews there. I'm looking to see for 4.5, 5 stars. And if people have bought a book and they've given it a 3-star rating, I'm going to have a look and see why it's only a 3-star rating. It's really, really important for people to see what's going on and why it's actually happening as well. So having reviews and having a good table of contents at the start. The other thing that a lot of people will do, I'll tell you a little bit about later. Oh, no, actually, I'll tell you a little bit about it now. Something that a lot of very, very smart business people do. So this is really for those of you who are looking to have a business from your book. What you can do is have a lead generator at the start of your book. So perhaps in the first 2 or 3 pages, you might have, hey, to grab some book bonuses that come with my book, go to www.evejohn.com.au/gift. Now, what you would have then is an opt-in where people would give you their name and their email address, and then you can market to them. Now, that is a golden tip because not everybody's going to buy, but if they're going through and having a look at what your book is and they've actually used the inside feature, it really does mean that they're actually interested in your book and what you're actually doing as well. So it's really important that you take that into consideration. So that's just a little bit of a tip, and that's something that I do with my clients. As part of my program, we look at productizing your book, so making sure that we really can be aware as to what's going on and how you can build your book into a business. So the next thing that I want to go through and have a chat to you guys about is, sorry, this is new software, guys, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty on that, is making your book stand out. Now, there's my book here on the right-hand side and the amazing Lisa Sasovich's book on the left-hand side. I love her, and I just wanted to see my book next to her. So as you can see from our covers, you can tell that they're professionally done. They've got some information with the authors. Lisa Sasovich's book is what's considered a lead generation. So what I might actually do is just show you a good idea as to how to make your book really stand out there. So let's go back to Google. Let's go back to Amazon and grab Lisa's book. This will just really, I'm a little It's not in line with what I'm doing right now, but I just want to show you a really great, she does this really, really well, what I just spoke about with the lead generation. So going in here, like we can look inside her beautiful, beautiful book, okay, and you'll see the difference. So there's her book there, okay. She's got a lot of testimonials in there because, as I said, it is lead generation. It's just beautifully presented. You know, it's just formatted really, really nicely, and it's just a lot more professional. So she's got a lot of testimonials. So she's then gone through and put her the inside pockets. She's got her acknowledgements. She's also got her steps, so her chapters as well. So it's just a lot nicer to see. Now, this is what I was talking about with the lead generation. If you click on her book here, Meet the Sassies, it goes straight to her lead generation page.
Hi, this is Lisa Sasevich, known by many as the Queen of Sales Conversion.
Sorry, I'll just pause her. So what you can do, if you're interested in her book, you can actually buy the book, obviously, and then but if you don't, you don't have to. And this is why she's a very smart marketer, because she's put that in the preview section. So you can actually put your name and your email address, and you can get some free gifts from her. So you'll actually get you know, some marketing and some bonuses. And I think that's just a really smart way to build a list, because often people will say to me, I don't have a list. How am I going to build a business? Now, this is a really fantastic way to do it. So that's a good example of what to do on the inside of a book there. So making your book stand out, yes, it is about the presentation, but it's not specifically about the design of your book. While it is, as you can see, our books are nice and clean, they're easy to read, you know, it's professionally done. It's attractive to our audience as well. So my book, Confident You, is about women making a change and a transformation in themselves, arms up in the air, having a wonderful time. Lisa's book is about how to make money and a big difference doing what you love. So she's got a lovely manicured hand there with some crisp US dollars in it. So what's happened there is her book is going to stand out. Now, one way that you can really make sure that your book is going to stand out in a positive way is really by doing a little bit of research. And it's quite simple. Spending some time looking at the books that you know you're going to be putting your book up against in the particular categories. Find out what they're doing. Have a look at what's selling really well and what's not selling very well. A lot of people that are choosing to publish their own books for lead generation purposes later on down the track are presenting books that have themselves on the front cover, and that's something that's certainly an option for you, but you need to make sure that it's going to match what the market's actually looking for. So take some time and really do your research. You want to make sure that it's presented very well, that it looks professional, that going on the inside makes it stand out, and having just some things that make it just that little bit different to what everybody is doing as well is going to make a big difference in your end product, which means that it's going to make a big difference to your bottom line as well. And that brings us to categories. I'm just going to have a quick drink here. Excuse me. I'm trying to go through this as succinctly as I can. This is something that I could talk about all day. I love researching and seeing what's coming up on Amazon, and it's something that I spend with my clients and the books that I launch. I spend a lot of time on Amazon seeing what everybody's doing and what's working and what's not. So it is something to definitely research. So we spoke briefly before about categories, and this again is going to make your book stand out, because if you're not in the right category, you could really be struggling to be even seen in the masses, or people could be searching for you in the wrong place. Often people will search by a particular category, and if you haven't selected your categories correctly, you might not even show up. So Amazon Kindle describes a category as a browse category is the section of the Kindle store where users can borrow can browse your book. Think of the browse category like the sections of a physical bookstore, fiction, history, and so on. You can select up to 2 browse categories for your book. Precise browse categorization helps readers find your book, so identify the most appropriate categories for your book. Now, this where, again, it comes down to knowing your market and knowing what Amazon's got and what's actually available. When you choose your categories, often Amazon, as it says there, they'll only allow you to do 2, but quite often if your book sells particularly well or if you get your keywords right, it will allow you to have up to 5 categories. One of my clients, Morella, when we launched her book, to number 1. I think she got number 1 in 5 different categories, and we didn't even know that she was in 5 different categories. But because we had such fantastic keywords and the categories that we were in had quite a broad range, we were able to see that she could come up in the different 5 categories. And it was such an amazing thing because she was beating out some amazing authors as well. So some books that I personally have on my bookshelf, we were squealing with delight when we could see her book going up and up and up and, you know, edging out, you know, some really renowned books in the industry. So again, getting to know your categories and doing your research is going to help. And that's why the bonus I'm going to give you at the end of the webinar is going to help you along the way there, because that starts off with the genres. Now, that will give you a really good guide as to where you could fit, but it is, again, the same with YouTube, the same with Google. It is through expert knowledge and research that you're going to find out all about that. And this is something that I work quite in depth with my clients in the planning phase of the 5-step system to launch their book, because it is something that we want to make sure that we're not getting put in the wrong category. Some of the children's books that I've worked with authors with, we had to make sure that it was going in dreaming because it was had some hypnotic language in there, and we didn't want it to be going to 15-year-olds as well because it was nighttime and bedtime stories for children. So knowing the categories and knowing what your options are is really, really important when really trying to nail that number 1 status, and also just to sell more books in the long run as well. So one of my particular favorites and my golden rule, and again, this is something that authors get to and they are so relieved that their book is up and running that they don't take any time to do their sales page. Now, the sales page is like the back blurb of your book. I've got a couple of my favorites there, and you can just see, obviously they are actually the printed books, but they're just written very, very well. So I'm just going to go and stop screen sharing there for a second. I've got a couple of books here. I've actually got my old favorite. Now, this was the first book that my father, that I actually ever read that wasn't a sort of a children's book. My dad gave this to me when I was 15, and as you can see, oh gosh, sorry, I hope that doesn't offend anybody. I know some people are very precious about their books, but this is something that's really, really, really dear to me. Now, on the back here, it says, you can go after the job you want and get it. You can take the job you have and improve it. You can take any situation you're in and make it work for you. For over 50 years, the rock-solid, time-tested advice in this book has carried thousands of now famous people in the ladder of success to their business and personal life. Now this phenomenal book has been revised and updated. God is, it's written very, very well on the sales blurb of the back. Now, I always suggest that you put your heart and soul into this book, get it written, get it copywritten for your sales description. Your sales description is the same sort of thing that you would have on the back blurb. Within Amazon, they've changed the rules. You're not allowed to format it. It all has to just be text. You can do spacing, but you can't bold and italics and those sorts of things. They chop and change the rules a little bit, but that's the current rule as well. So you need to make sure that your words are making an impact, and that's why having your sales description and your blurb written really well is really, really important. Just going back to the screen share here, I'm just going to toggle back to my, don't know what I've done there. Okay, toggle back over here, having a look at the sales description for Lisa Sasovich's book. It's going, you know in your heart there's a bigger plan for your life and for helping others. Be inspired by Lisa's Sassy Mastermind students. So it's written very, very well. If we have a look at my book as well, I worked with my copywriting coach at the time to really help. Sorry, how embarrassing is that? I blanked out on the name of my book there for a little second. To really make sure that I was going to be clear on what my sales description was. Oh, when I launched my book, you were actually able to do some sort of formatting with there. So mine, and it's exactly the same as my printed book as well. So it says, have you ever thought rather jealously how she does it as you watch the super confident woman in action? You know those women, they're inspirational, they take challenges, they win, they're graceful at giving compliments and always seem to have the ability to be laser focused. Then I go on to say what you'll discover in my book. You'll discover how to break through the fear, what to do when you're criticized, how to be a woman that's focused, and the #1 way to banish fear. So this is a really important thing to be able to do so that you can see what's going on within your genre as well. So just going back here, whoops, I've lost myself. Okay, going back here, I think the best way, I think a lot of people fall short on Amazon in their sales descriptions. So the way that I actually like to do my research is by popping down to the local bookshop, and I ask for bookshop vouchers for my birthday and for Christmas. And I go through all of the books and I read the different sales descriptions. Excuse me, this one here is the ultimate book of heroic failures, and this is why I bought this book. A triumphant celebration of epic incompetence. In October 1987, Matthew Boyer popped out during his lunch break for some golf practice next to an airbase in the African state of Benin. Slicing his shot to perfection, he drove the ball over a fence and into a passing bird, which coughed and squawked and plummeted towards the runway, smashing into the windscreen of a plane about to take off and alarming the pilot, who slammed on his brakes and skidded, plunging into the Benin's 4 and only military jets. With a single golf out his entire country's air force. Now, you have to buy that because you want to know what else is in there. The other things, and again, these are all print books, but it needs to be the same. You need to make it as if it's going to be compared to a print book because people are going to be reading what you're writing. This is another really great book. It's the Eat Clean and Lean Diet Cookbook. And the way, he's actually written breakfast that will turn your body into a fat-burning machine for the rest of the day, smoothies that will give you a nutritional burst just when you need it the most, energy-boosting lunches from around the world, and chocolate cake you can enjoy with a clear conscience. Now, again, that is a lot better than what's actually out there. So you can really see the value of making sure that your book has a really good sales description. And the good thing is with Amazon, with the Kindle program, you can go in and change it. So it really is a testing phase for you so that when you do take your book to print, you know what actually works and you can see what actually works as well. So I'm really passionate about sales copy and sales description because I think that's where so many authors let themselves down. And it is just a golden tip. It's something that you need to take the time to do. Don't just finish your book and throw it up on Amazon and think, oh, thank gosh, it's done. I never have to think about it ever again, because the royalties will not start rolling until you've finished it. It's your baby. You need to really make sure that you're treating it in just the same way as well. So going back and having a look at our PowerPoints here. Whoops. See, I'm not particularly good with as well. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous, so that's why it makes it seem a little bit funny. So again, back to the golden rule. So what we've really covered is the things that making sure that you have your keywords and your categories correct for Kindle, that when you actually launch your book, you ask people to buy it and ask them to give you reviews. It's really important. You don't have to ask people to give you 5 stars if they don't think it's worth it, but surely you must have some friends and family that want to support you on your journey. One thing that's really important to remember, and this is something that a lot of people fall over, and I've seen people do it and they get blacklisted. You can't actually buy a book on Amazon and try and give it reviews yourself. Even if you're using a different name, they track the IP address, and it's just not right. You need to make sure people are giving it an honest review. So the number 4 thing is having a poor cover. So you want to make sure that your cover is professionally done and that it sits nicely. I gave you some examples of some really bad covers and some really good ones there as well. Having the wrong or incorrect title is a big issue as well. So making sure that you really nail it with what you're doing and what you're trying to do and making it stand out. And the one thing that I'm really passionate about is the sales description. So making sure that you put the time in to do your research. It's something that is one of the key parts of my program where I work with the authors to build a really compelling sales description. So it's something that you can take across all spectrums. So whether you're selling your book on Amazon, my guys that take their book to print, they sell it on their website, they use it in their bio, that we use it in their media releases that we create for them, all of those sorts of things. We want to make sure that the sales description that is going to really get people's attention. Now, I did also put that I'd like to share with you the top reason why now is the best time to launch a book. And really, it's quite simply because, whoops, I've gone too far. It is actually Christmas. So we all know that having Christmas and summer, that's my little ones, by the way. I like to try and include them on everything that I do, and being that this video is only going to be up for a week, I thought I'd love to have them. Reminder that it's Santa's down at the local shopping centre, so I need to make sure that I get them down there. But there is a massive spike in books around Christmas and summer. Generally, when people go on holidays, they think, I'm going to grab that book and I'm going to read it as well. So it's not really before Christmas, but in that week after Christmas, right through the Christmas holidays through January. So Christmas and summer are the best times to launch your book because people are looking to read. And for a lot of people, it's their relaxation time. So make sure that if you're looking to, get your book out there and give it the maximum exposure that you can, Christmas is a great time. The other reason that I love Christmas and summer is when I work with my authors, we work on their media plan. And really one of the key things is in January, you probably all would have noticed that the papers are really thin. So they're always looking for stories. So we have a lot of marketing success when we're doing media releases in summer because the newspapers and magazines are desperate for new stories because not a lot is happening. Everybody's away. So it just gives you that opportunity to really make sure that you're taking your piece of the pie and making it all work out for you. So really, that's my top 7 tips that I wanted to share with you. I know I can see a couple of messages coming through now. I know a couple of you got a lot of questions, and I've made notes of those, so I'll share those with you in a minute and some of the answers. What I want to share with you guys now, I mentioned before that, it is really important when you're launching your book to have a plan in place. So what you need to think about is where you want to go with your book. And so for those of you who can see all of the pieces that you need for this little piece of the puzzle, before you even are ready to launch your book, you're wondering, what's the next step? How am I going to guarantee my success as a best-selling author? So I mentioned this particular piece that I've briefly gone through with you today is something that I spend a lot of time on. I work on it with my clients, and really it's because it is one of the key parts of my 5-step system. So we plan, we publish, we profile, we promote, and we productize. And one of the key things and the most important thing about my program, the Amazon Smash It program, is that it's done for you. We chat, we plan, we promote, we celebrate. The job's done. I know for most people, you know, once you're a bestseller, you're a bestseller for life. You don't need to worry about a second book if you don't want to. Okay, some people do, and that's great. A lot of my clients have come back and we've launched a second book, and they're, you know, 2-time best-selling authors, 3-time #1 international best-selling authors, and it's really, really great. But for most people, they want to launch a book, they want that status, they want to make some money, they want to get what a best-selling author gets, which is the prestige, being able to, you know, get offers for speaking, being seen, having media chase you, being able to up your prices, being able to go in and see your clients and offer them a copy of your best-selling book. And I tell you, that is the quickest way to be seen. Your proposal for whatever you're offering is going straight to the top of the pile when you are offering a best-selling book as a gift when you turn up. So I'll just go through my program for you now, because I know some of you are really interested in hearing about a little bit more about it. You can go to evejohn.com.au/bestseller, and it looks a little bit like this. And what my program does is helps you to become a bestseller. Now, we build absolutely everything there for you. So you can see the link up there, evejohn.com.au/bestseller. And I build everything for you, and you work with me one-on-one. This is not something where you are going to, you know, be palmed off to somebody else. It's something that I work with you. We plan your book, we set your launch, it's professionally edited, it's professionally formatted, it's professionally, the covers are all done. Everything is just absolutely fantastic. It looks absolutely beautiful. And it's really important, because if you're going to get to the top, you need to be working with people that are at the top. And there's a lot of competition out there. As I said, 1.2 million Kindle ebooks. So really, with my program, we're looking at, we create, again, as you know, that sales page description that I am really, really passionate about. So we can convert your browsers into buyers. We have a masterful Kindle page that gives you the winning edge. We have a prestigiously designed front cover, a killer blurb. Your book is formatted just flawlessly, and we have your author's page and all of the back end done for you, and you don't need to worry about it. No 6-week course, your Facebook posts are getting lost, you don't know what to do. I deal with you one-on-one, and I work exclusively. I'm only taking 5 people at the moment. I don't know when I'll open the doors again, but I need to get my clients to #1 over this really, really busy season. So when I'm working with you, I created an industry-specific marketing plan, and we create leads that are going to work really for you. And my favorite part is when my authors get their 10 copies and they're actually printed and bound and look beautiful, and you can hand them out to your family. But I also give you all of the files that you need to print them yourself, so that you can start taking them everywhere, selling them. We set them up so that they sell on Amazon, they sell on CreateSpace, they sell on Lulu, they sell everywhere like hotcakes. So I'd like to invite you to take the opportunity to go to evejohn.com.au/bestseller. My program is $1,997, or 3 payments of $750 over 4 nights. And I'm so confident, and my success has been 100% so far with all of my clients, and I guarantee that I will get you on the bestsellers list, or I'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am for you. I appreciate that it's almost time for me to go. Thank you so much for being here today with me. I did promise you a little gift, and you can get that at evejohn.com.au/gift. So that's evejohn.com.au/gift. And what you can grab there is a comprehensive list of genres that will really help you to start thinking about your business and your book and where you want to go. So I'm going to stay on the line and answer a couple of questions. But before I do, the one thing I want to say is we often hear that success comes to those that wait. And that might have been true 100 years ago when people had heaps of time to wait for the good things in life. But today, the only thing that comes to you is what you go after. So I want to offer you this opportunity to go after the credibility that you deserve. Thank you. I'm going to answer a couple of questions that have come through now, so I appreciate everybody that sent me through some of these. One of the questions is, will this work for my book? I've worked with authors that have written biographies. I've worked with authors that have written children's books. I specialize in non-fiction types of books. So aside from children's books, I don't really deal with adult fiction. So if your book falls within that genre, you can feel free to send me an email. I'm happy to give you a little bit more information. My email is you@evejohn.com.au. So I hope that answers your question. How much money can I make on Kindle? Again, that's not what this webinar is really about. There are varying royalty prices through Kindle as well that you need to be aware of. So again, that's probably something to, you can shoot me an email, or I might talk about it at a later date. My manuscript needs work that I can certainly help you with as well. So shoot me an email again at you@evejohn.com.au. My book is really specific to a niche. Will it sell? It is great if it's specific to a niche, because we write books to really serve people and go deep. So yes, it will sell. We just need to make sure we're using the right keywords and we're using the right categories. Okay, can I choose my launch date? Yes, within reason. Generally, there's certain days and times that we choose to launch on a little bit more. So it's something that we can work on as well. So I can see a couple of people looking on the my offer page there. So guys, this is going to be your opportunity. As I said, I'm only taking 5 clients for this program. So head to www.evejohn.com.au/bestseller, because I really know that once you start to take action, you want to be seen, you want to be heard, you want to share your story. I really think this is the opportunity for you now, and I look forward to having a conversation with you a little later on this week. Okay, bye.